Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to the first video of a comically long hiatus. In this series, I take a seat in the big blue chair and talk about some of the awesome Power Rangers comics coming out of Boom Studios. In this first video, I wrap up something of a loose end from the comics that I reviewed prior to this series. Let's take a look at the final two issues of the MMPR Pink miniseries, number 5 and number 6. Starting with number 5, the cover is not fantastic. First of all, it's the Pink Ranger firing at a monster we only see the giant shadow of. The logo is well placed in the negative space of the buildings, but once again, it's the original Pink Ranger. But we can see a restaurant sign in French, meaning this is happening now. This scene literally doesn't exist, since Kim is not using these powers and Kat is not there. I'm really not sure why they couldn't have just used her new suit. It had long since been revealed. Kim's Rangers are fighting the swamp creatures as Kim thinks to herself that it's much harder to fight transformed civilians than the putty patrollers, that she could just round off kick into goo. She tells the other Rangers to funnel the monsters towards them. Goldar, meanwhile, is fighting fruitlessly against Typhonus as Verdo taunts him. Kim asks if he needs any help. He says he would never need her help. But she's foolish if she thinks saving the Swamp Things is going to help. Verdo should be the priority, and she needs to get up there. Kim takes the lead, telling Serge and Britt to keep up the containment, and Zack and Trini to try climbing Typhonus to see if getting close throws Verdo off. Who it throws off is Zack and Trini, literally. Kim says her ride's here, which is the Firebird Thunderzord, which wasn't moving, so it just kind of showed up. She hops in and it takes off. She fires a few shots at Typhonus, which just ting off of it, and then it crashes. She says it held on long enough, so a few seconds, I guess. She says Plan B is on deck and calls her team for an update. Serge says they are still containing the monsters, but Kim responds that now the townsfolk are taking care of that. Something we don't even see. The entire team should focus on Typhonus. However, as she relays the nearly insurmountable task they face, taking down a Megazord with no functional Zords of their own, and make Verdo change the swamp creatures back, and quickly enough to return Zordon's energy to him, they follow her unquestioningly, but she seems doubtful. That gets worse when she sees that Typhonus has Goldar and is squeezing him, and Verdo taunts him that he took Goldar's plan, and now he's going to take his place. Kim stalls out, unsure of what to do next. Alpha steps in, sending the team the Shark Cycles, and they've been upgraded. Now they can fly.
We don't need roads.
Kim goes to save Goldar, but Typhonus swats her and destroys the Pink Shark Cycle. Well, was the last one to originally appear, first one to be destroyed. She starts falling, and when Trini screams, "Kim!" her response is, "Help?" I'm sorry, was that supposed to be a question? Trini just misses her, but then she's caught by Goldar. Typhonus swatted her with the hand that was holding Goldar. Kim marvels at being saved by Goldar, but there's no time to think about it. The two land near the Firebird, and Goldar works to get it running again, as Kim's mom shows up from absolutely nowhere, although in a nice touch we do see her running up as the two of them land. Goldar has the Firebird send out a repair signal, automatically having Typhonus draw it back in to reconnect. Goldar says the beast might be useful, and the three board the Firebird as it reconnects. Kim calls Britt and Serge and puts them back on rounding up swamp creature duty. Make up your mind. Kim tells Goldar again, no killing Verto. He says he doesn't take orders from Rangers. However, he does respect strategy. Serge and Britt look up and see Typhonus destroy the Black Shark Cycle. Zack starts falling, but Trini makes the catch this time, and the two flirt again. As Verdo gloats on taking down another Ranger, Team Kim enters the cockpit. Not sure how Verdo didn't notice that the Firebird was reconnecting, but hey. Kim's mom charges Verdo, but he's unconcerned, seeing it as easy to just take control of her mind again. However, that distracts him and Goldar grabs him by the neck. Goldar says this ends now. Kim runs up and kicks Goldar, needing Verdo alive. He makes to escape, but Kim's mom grabs him. Goldar says he wasn't going to really kill him, not yet, but Kim says he should be able to understand that she doesn't exactly trust him. They capture Verdo and take him to the village, where he changes her mom back to normal. She has no memories of her time as a swamp monster. While it's convenient for Kim that she still doesn't know about her being the Pink Ranger, she's sad because she can't hug her right now, having to be the professional, stoic superhero. Verdo keeps changing people back. I'll say again, it seems like destroying him would have had the same effect, and none of them have any memories of their experiences. Kim asks Trini and Zach to watch over Goldar and Verdo, so she, Serge, and Britt can demorph and find their families. They reunite with their parents, who classically were more worried about them than themselves. Kim even hugs her stepfather and says whatever he paints next is going to be her phone background. Kim steps away to talk to Goldar and Verdo. She thanks Verdo for actually following through on changing everyone back. He says it's part of a deal. He keeps quiet about everything Goldar has done, most likely teaming up with Power Rangers, and Goldar will personally introduce him to Rita and Zed as a trusted lieutenant. He gets his chance to climb the evil ladder, which is what he always wanted. However, evil cannot be trusted over the long haul, and Goldar demonstrates that here. He tells Kim that he abided by her wish that Verdo not be harmed because she saved his life. However, 1, everyone's been changed back now, and 2, more importantly, their deal is now complete. He finds a far more effective way to keep Verdo quiet than a good word with Lord Zed, and he kills him. Kim is stunned, and Goldar says if she says one word about this to anyone that doesn't already know, she and her family are next. In a pretty drastic tonal shift, Kim rounds the corner and finds Zach and Trini. Kissing. Zach is kind of embarrassed, but Trini and Kim girl talk about it, Trini saying this has been happening for a while now and she's just never had a chance to bring it up. Serge and Britt come back, eager to continue in their role as Rangers, but Kim updates them on the situation and says that their time as Rangers is over now. Earth already has a team of Power Rangers, and Zordon needs his energy back. And then this plot takes yet another left turn. Just as Kim says it's time to call Alpha, Alpha calls her instead. I guess his robotic ears were burning. They finally reach the actual Power Rangers. He plays a call from Tommy, seen holographically of course, where he says they're losing power and need help. Kim says she has to help and asks Alpha how much longer Zordon can be without his power. Alpha says he's got no more than 12 hours. Kim tells the team that they have Typhonus now, and they have to go help the actual Rangers. Otherwise, Rita and Zed would easily overwhelm them and take over the Earth. Alpha has the team's coordinates, and what's more, Tor and Titanus make a very late arrival, but they can somehow launch Typhonus into space? The Pink team declares it's morphin' time as the issue ends. This issue was a little hit or miss for me. There was some nice action and a really great glimpse of Kim's character as it stands right now, leading her team, faltering a bit when things got a little overwhelming, and then stepping back up. However, this series has a bad habit of stuff just kind of happening. The story doesn't always flow very well. And it really feels like the last issue is just tacked on right at the end of this one. We did have the hint before that the MMPR were off-world and probably in some kind of trouble, but this story gets completely resolved and wrapped up, happy ending, and then it's like it goes, oh, right, the MMPR, we should probably resolve that, huh? Not a bad resolution to this story, but I'm starting to get a little frustrated with the side stumbles. This was 5 issues in. Issue number 5 gets a 3 out of 5. Issue number 6 has by far the best cover of the series for one major reason. It's the only one that takes place in the story. It seems to be the moment Kim granted Ranger powers to Zack and Trini, wearing her leather jacket, with Zack and Trini looking like they do now. It's still weird to me that none of the 6 covers featured Kim's actual new pink Ranger suit, but it was just so nice to have a present-day moment and not feature Kim wearing a suit she was no longer using. The issue starts with the MMPR as Tommy rallies his troops on the planet Orland in the Vika Galaxy. The Vika Galaxy was the one Rita and Zed conquered during Countdown to Destruction, but the planet Orland appears to be a new thing, and why Rita and Zed and/or the Rangers are even there is never established. For the moment, they are hidden, and Tommy knows that his team is tired and hungry, but they just need to focus here. They look over the situation. Serpentera towers over the Ninja Megazord as an army of Z-Putties climb its legs. Tommy says that they just need to get back into the Megazord and have a chance to get back in the fight. It makes me wonder why they left in the first place if the Megazord is just standing there. Rita tries to give us an answer to that, saying the Megazord has been deactivated by a disruptor, but did that make it any safer to be on the ground? And wouldn't they need to take it out to make it useful again? Anyway, the team runs from one outcropping to another as Serpentera apparently heads the other way for some reason.
The wrong way.
They realize their next run will put them in the open, and even if they get back in the Megazord, it's 50-50 that they'll be able to power up their weapons to destroy the disruptor. Then the Rangers see something approach from space. It's Typhonus, sitting in Titanus, sitting in Tor.
Turducken! Oh, well, what's a turducken, you ask? Well, obviously that's a chicken inside of a duck, inside of a turkey.
At first they think it's an enemy, but Tommy recognizes their old Zords and realizes they're there to help. Kim rallies her own troops, further reflecting her growth as a leader of this team. Zed wonders if this is an ally coming to crush the Rangers with their own Zords. What might have been. Kim announces that they're there to help the Rangers, sent by Zordon and Alpha in the Typhonus Ultra Zord. Hey, at least this one's not made of toys. Tommy is wide-eyed in amazement at this, but Rita and Zed have also noticed, as Serpentera circles back from wherever the heck it was going. Tommy quickly comes up with a plan for this team of Rangers that he's never met before, telling them to break Ultrazord formation so Tor and Titanus can destroy the Disruptor, which is on Serpentera's head, while Typhonus clears the MMPR a path back to the Ninja Megazord. Kim thinks about how confident Tommy sounds, wondering if she would have had the same confidence if she had stayed as a Ranger. There's kind of an irony in that, seeing as she had to be confident in herself and her own life to leave the Power Rangers, so it's a nice character element. The Disruptor starts impacting their Zords too, so they break formation and get to work. Trini pilots Titanus and Zack has Tor. Tor flies up near Serpentera's head when... I can't be quite sure if Serpentera headbutted Tor or Tor crashed into the Disruptor, but either way it worked, and after a quick moment of drama, Zack is fine. Typhonus goes rocket, kicking putties out of the way. However, Kim sees something approaching, and then they start feeling shots. Serpentera has broken past the T-Zords and is coming for them. The MMPR break from their hiding spot and start clearing out the stragglers, making for the Ninja Megazord. Kim says the plan is to hold off Serpentera long enough for the MMPR to get home. Zack and Trini make a point. They'll need the MMPR's help to get home themselves, though I'm not really sure why, seeing as their own Zords got them there. Maybe they meant they'll need their help stopping Serpentera? Serpentera makes to collide with Typhonus when something blasts it away. It's the Rangers making it to their Ninja Megazord. Kim tells the Rangers to go. They have Serpentera on the defensive. You were about to get tackled like a punter, but okay, anyway. Tommy says they aren't going anywhere, everyone is going to leave as a team. The two Megazords beat Serpentera back and escape the planet while the evil Zord staggers. Tommy thanks Kim, not that he knows it's her, for the help. Zack tells Kim that when they get back, they should tell the Rangers it was them that helped. Kim, holding her knees in a sad pose, which also reveals that she has bootlaces all the way up to her knees, says there's no time for even that. They have to get back to Zordon, even as she laments that she didn't even know Tommy was off-world and that she's completely lost touch with her old friends. They land back at St. Monyo for some reason, I guess just to directly bring Surgeon Britt back home. Anyway, they of course return the power just in time, and Zordon congratulates them, calling them all heroes, powers or no. Zordon teleports the Sword of Light back to its hiding place, also seemingly taking Verdo's trident, which they had kept with them throughout. Alpha says the Titanus will go back to his hiding place, but the other Zords are going to need repairs, and that Billy should be very excited to study Typhonus. So excited that he will never mention it. Alpha gives them all communicators, despite the fact that Kim already had one, and touches on what Kim just was thinking. They aren't just to be contacted for emergencies again, they want this new team to stay in touch. Britt and Surge thank Kim for saving the town, but she says they were a huge help in that. The end. Wait, no, not the end. Not remotely.
It's over! Nothing is over! Nothing!
Kim rides along the beach on her motorcycle, then returns home. She walks into her bedroom, still decorated with a surprise for winning the Pan Global Games. You don't really win the Olympics, but hey, parent logic. She flops in her bed, unsatisfied, wondering if there's ever an end when it comes to being a ranger. She gets a text from Trini. She and Zack are getting pain au chocolat, basically a sweet roll with chocolate, from a nearby cafe and invite her along. They explain that they plan to see Paris for a few days before heading back to their camp. However, they wonder if Surge and Britt are going to have questions and if the town is going to need help rebuilding. Kim says she's wondered the same thing and also wonders if they know how not to help people. She tells them to go to Paris, the city of love. They've earned a vacation. Trini asks if Kim has too, but she's taking more of a staycation, staying in St. Monyo to catch up with her mom and hang out with Surge and Britt. But she promises to stay in touch since she won't let her Ranger family fade from her mind again. Speaking of Surge and Britt, Kim goes to visit them. It's clearly at least after midnight, but the two of them are awake watching a movie with their dad. She goes to leave, but they heard her motorcycle and stepped outside, also saying that they couldn't sleep. She wonders if they're mad that they only got to be Rangers for a short time. They are incredulous at the suggestion, saying it was the best thing that's ever happened to them, and it's changed their lives. Surge now plans to become an EMT, since he was so calm under pressure, and Britt plans to study city disaster planning in college. They promise to also stay in touch, even when she does leave the village. She drives away, and Britt says, "On vos aim," or "We love you." As Kim drives, she thinks about how the others on her team all made plans to keep being heroes in their own ways, but she can't shake the guilt about no longer being a Ranger, especially since if she hadn't been there to help the MMPR, Tommy and the others would be dead. Kim focuses on Tommy, of course, and realizes that since he's an active Power Ranger, she can't think of him any other way, and he won't be able to think of himself any other way. 1 year later, Kim is training, and we see that she's trying to write Tommy a certain letter that has become infamous in the fandom.
It's a Dear John letter.
She's having a lot of trouble with it, but we see as she stands near her bike on another late night, she has finally figured it out. As she writes, she muses about how relationships often end not due to the people, but the opportunities in their lives, the changes that just naturally draw them apart. As we read the letter and see that Adam apparently skipped through some of it, we also see that Kim has indeed been keeping in touch with the Ranger fam, apparently eating lunch with Jason, who is apparently back from wherever he went, discussing action flicks with Surge, and getting good luck wishes from Trini. Kim muses further. It's not just enough, I think that was supposed to be it's just not enough, to be the woman in pink at his side. It's about wanting the same things and in the same ways. Some of us can change, can morph into whatever version of ourselves seems most appealing. Some of us just wear the armor for a time and then pass it on. And we stay heroes anyway. 6 is kind of a tough issue to muse on because we have to address it in 2 parts. We have the battle on whatever it was called, Orland, which was pretty neat. We get to see the 2 teams work together in a great Zord fight against Serpentera. Kim steps up as a leader while still reflecting her stylistic differences from Tommy. And in the end, as the series kind of dovetails back towards the show's canon, that's what this all becomes about. Kimberly and Tommy. Kim's final speech is a reflection on how she's different from Tommy. Tommy is clearly the one who can morph into whatever version of himself seems to be the most appealing. Teenage rebel, determined race car driver, paleontology professor. Kim, however, is who she is, and she had to come to terms with the fact that she only had her new powers for a limited time. As a matter of fact, her question to Serge and Britt about if they were mad that they only got to be Power Rangers for a short time meant more than it seemed to me at first, because that was something that she had to deal with. Her moment in the spotlight as a world defender was fleeting, and she had to find what her life was after that. As I said, issue number 6 felt a little bit tacked on, but in the end, it really brought the message of the series overall home, so it gets a 4 out of 5. Pink was an interesting miniseries. It coming out so soon after MMPR started, being advertised within the first few issues of the main line, shows that this was a story they just wanted to tell. They just needed the early interest numbers in the core line to justify it. I like the core points of the story, expanding the backstory of what Kim did after being a Ranger, and especially the sort of kit-bashed feelings of the set of powers these Rangers had, just dividing Kim's residual Pink Ranger energy, and then using a set of stolen, broken Zords. However, perhaps reflecting the fact that it seems like the story was rushed into production, there were these little small mistakes and strange happenings. Not on a Ninja Steel level, just kind of skipping past establishing why a Zord had moved, or why something was leaving. It doesn't make a great series bad, but it does make a good series okay. Overall, MMPR Pink gets a score of 3 out of 5. That's going to do it for the first A Comically Long Hiatus video. I know I didn't get to GGPR like I said I was going to. Surprise, surprise, one of my videos didn't go the way I planned it to. But I'm actually going to take the chance to put that on the back burner for a little bit. I finally have all 6 issues of one of the most surprising crossovers to occur in comic book history. So tune in to the second Comically Long Hiatus episode to see my review of the first 3 issues of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers / Justice League. Make sure to like the video by hitting that like button right down below. In the comments below, let me know what you thought of issues 5 and 6 of MMPR Pink, as well as the miniseries as a whole. And remember, like I always say, watching my reviews and getting these stories is nice. Please support the official products. Please buy the comics, even if you're getting them online digitally with Comixology or something like that. There are opportunities for you to financially support this line, and that is what I want you to do. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos, and ring that bell, get your notifications set up, so you can be notified of whenever I post brand new videos just like this Comically Long Hiatus video. And if you would like to toss me a little bit of tip change that maybe ensures that I keep getting these comics, not really, but it was a cute thing to say, you can head over to digitaltipjar.com/OrangeRangerBid. Whatever little financial support you toss in that tip jar is something I would greatly appreciate. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to the first video of a Comically Long Hiatus. Number 5 and number 6. This first video is going to serve to wrap up a loose end from the previous comics. She hops in and it takes off. She fires a few shots at Typhonus, which just... but Typhonus swats her and destroys the Pink As Verto gloats on taking down another Ranger, gosh darn it! Kim asks Trini and Zach to watch over Goldar and Verto, so she... but Kim updates them... Kim, however, is who she is, and she has to... it doesn't make a great series bad, but it... okay, so that's gonna wrap up this first comically So that's going to wrap up the first comically long hiatus video. I know that I didn't get to